Stellenbosch, a town known for its breathtaking beauty, its vineyards, and its prestigious university. For many, it's a place of learning and promise. But on the night of the 26th of May 2017, this idyllic facade was shattered. A night of celebration for two friends, Hannah Cornelius and Cheslin Marsh, took a turn that no one could have ever predicted. It became a night of unspeakable terror. This is a story that goes beyond a simple timeline of events. It's a story about the fragility of safety, the resilience of a survivor, and the profound grief of a family and a nation. It is a story that forces us to confront the reality of gender-based violence, not as a statistic, but as a devastating personal tragedy. This is the case of Hannah Cornelius. Hannah, a 21-year-old student, was just a few months away from her 22nd birthday. She was in her final year of a BA in social dynamics. She had a passion for music, playing the piano, and had a warmth and kindness that touched everyone she met. That night, she and her friend Cheslin were enjoying a night out. They were simply living their lives. At around 3 o'clock in the morning on the 27th of May 2017, Hannah and Cheslin were sitting in Hannah's VW City Golf. That's when 4 men armed with a knife forced their way into the vehicle. The men, later identified as, pardon me if I pronounce any of these names wrong, the men were identified as Vernon Witbooi, Geraldo Parsons, Eben van Niekerk, and Nashville Julius. They took control of the car and their lives. For the next 11 hours, Hannah and Cheslin were subjected to a prolonged and terrifying ordeal. They were driven to multiple locations. They were threatened, intimidated, and assaulted. At a deserted railroad crossing near the Klapmuts area, the men took Cheslin out of the car. They assaulted him brutally with bricks and stones, leaving him for dead. The men then drove away with Hannah. Miraculously, Cheslin survived. Despite his severe injuries, he managed to crawl to a nearby house for help. His testimony would become a cornerstone of the case. But Hannah's story tragically ended there. The perpetrators drove with her to another secluded location where she was sexually assaulted and murdered. Her body was later discovered by police. The brutal nature of the crime and the sheer duration of the ordeal left the public in shock. How could such a horrifying event happen in a town so seemingly safe? The police investigation was swift. Within days, all 4 suspects were arrested. The evidence against them was overwhelming. CCTV footage placed them in Hannah's car. Witness statements corroborated their movements, and forensic evidence linked them directly to the crime. The trial at the Western Cape High Court in 2018 became a national focus. The court heard Cheslin Marsh's brave and harrowing testimony. He recounted the details of the attack, identifying the men who had brutalized him and his friend. The legal judgment, which you can access via SAFLI at safli.org.za, provides a detailed breakdown of the evidence and the court's reasoning. On the 9th of November 2018, the court delivered its verdict. 3 of the men, Witbooi, Parsons, and van Niekerk, were found guilty of murder, rape, kidnapping, and robbery with aggravating circumstances. They were sentenced to multiple life terms in prison. A 4th man, Nashville Julius, was convicted of lesser charges for his role in the robbery and kidnapping, but was acquitted of the more serious crimes. The sentences were a crucial step towards justice, but they could never bring back what was lost. The verdict was met with a mixture of relief and continued grief. The case sparked a powerful and emotional response across South Africa. Vigils were held not just for Hannah, but for all victims of gender-based violence. Her story became a rallying cry for change. Hannah's family, especially her father Cornelius, became the public face of the tragedy. They spoke openly about their pain and their fight for justice. The family's strength and dignity in the face of unimaginable loss were profoundly moving. When her father passed away in 2022, obituaries reflected not just on his life, but on the enduring legacy of the family's grief and advocacy. The case also brought to life deeper societal issues. The public questioned police presence in the area and the persistent problem of crime and violence. The story has been revisited in podcasts, news documentaries, and books like Last Blue Ride, ensuring that Hannah's story is not forgotten. The memory of Hannah Cornelius lives on, not just as a victim, but as a symbol for a better, safer future. Her case speaks as a stark reminder of the long journey ahead in the fight against violence and for the protection of those who are most vulnerable. Thank you so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, please hit that like button, share it with someone, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Let's keep this conversation going in the comments below.